Hey everybody, it's Michael here from Replica Airguns, and today we're taking a look at the Sig Sauer P320 Spectre Comp CO2 Blowback Pellet Pistol. Today's going to be the tabletop review. We're going to focus on specifications, details, some close-up video, take a look around it, maybe a little comparison with some other Sig products here like the M17. We're not going to shoot it today, that'll be a future video, but if you want to get ahead of that and see what this gun will perform like, you could probably watch the M17, the Sig Sauer M17 field test shooting video I've made in the past. They're very mechanically similar. They even share the same magazine. You can swap them out. I'm pretty sure you can. They fit, they look the same. I'm pretty sure they are the same, other than possible colors. And by the way, the Sig P320 Spectre Comp is available in our Canada store right now, at least at the time of this video. I don't see it in the US store just yet, but it might show up there later on. I'll put links in the description to buy it if you're interested. Let's get right into the specifications. The Sig Sauer P320 Spectre Comp uses metal and polymer in its build. So it's got a metal slide, polymer frame, a little bit of both in the magazine. You're going to find some metal parts internally. So it does weigh a pretty hefty 2.31 pounds. It's got some good mass to it. As it's a pellet pistol, it shoots .177 caliber pellets, and I'd recommend the lead pellets over the alloy pellets. They're just, I don't know, I think they're a little bit better. I like them better personally. They might go a little slower, but they still get down there and have the same amount of punch, maybe even more at the end. There's certainly a lot more lead pellets out there to use. You're going to find a 20-round belt-style fed magazine that actually comes out of the magazine. So it's like a two-piece system, and I'll show you that once we get into it. This gun shoots in semi-auto. It has blowback operation, and I'd say it's more like a double-action trigger because of that belt-fed magazine and feeding the rounds while you go. Blowback doesn't really rotate the magazine. It's your trigger finger that does most of the work. And it's really nice. There's a tool-free cam lever system that loads that 12-gram CO2 within the magazine. And again, I'll show you that once the magazine's out of the gun. The overall length is 8.5 inches and the barrel length is 4.6 inches. And by the way, it's rifled for those pellets. Another nice feature is the Optics Ready Sig Air RMR optics. So it has the ruggedized miniature reflex optic system. Just remove that plate and put the plate on there for that system. It's all ready to go. And you're also going to find fixed white dot sights front and back. There's also a manual ambidextrous safety on the left and right side, hence ambidextrous. And at the front there is a compensated muzzle, kind of unique. That does mean field stripping it requires taking that compensator off. Now the claimed FPS is 340. That could potentially be for alloy pellets, but we'll find out when we do the field test shooting video. And again, check out the M17 video. There'll be some results there from a previous video I made. And as expected, it's fully Sig Sauer licensed since it's distributed by them. Some nice tactile options are the flared magwell, enhanced grip texture, and of course you've got the Picatinny rail for adding accessories. And as mentioned, it is cross-compatible with the M17 magazine, which I'll show you in this video because I have one here as well. Again, it's designed by Sig Sauer and based on the custom style Sig Sauer P320 Spectre Comp pistol, which is a competition style pistol. Now it does come in a nice box here, and I'll show you that. So nice packaging. I like them when they come in boxes as opposed to clamshells. Clamshells never really appeal to me. You see here we've got some information there. Try to get the lighting out of there. CO2, 20 rounds, blowback, semi-auto, .177 pellets, 4.6 inch barrel, 8.5 inches total length, 2.29 pounds, 340 FPS. And you can see here you got some of these features. So compensated muzzle, what's that say there? Full metal blowback, slide. Got a lot of glare going on. Optics Ready, Sig Air RMR, sold separately of course. Ambidextrous manual safety, magazine release button, more good stuff here. Polymer engraved X grips, so nicely textured and functioning field stripping, okay? I can't really field strip it because I'd have to take that off, but I'm gonna kind of show you sort of how it works with the M17, but they are a little bit different. Okay, what does that say there? I missed that. 12-gram CO2 magazine housing, okay. By the way, you do get this really basic manual, which you're probably gonna wanna scan to get the real information out of it. That's all I found in there. And inside the magazine, by the way, was this little bit here. And that's so when you put the plate, the RMR plate on there, and you've got the optics, the red dot optics, you just sort of replace the rear sight with this because you don't really need it anymore. It's not really going to do anything because the optics are in the way at that point. So before we get right into it, I just want to compare it to the M17, which I have here, and they're similar style pistols, slightly, based on slightly different guns, but they are very similar styled pistols. Yeah, I mean, you can see that they're typical Sig look to them. Now you do have like I said, the magazines are swappable. Okay, this one just happens to be the tan version, but you can see I can just swap them over, right, and everything works. And they both have the same quick loading system. It's like a lever that pierces the CO2 for you without having to use tools. So that's kind of nice. They're both, basically they both have, I might as well show you this now. How do I get this out now? I had a little bit of a brain fart. So you just basically push that in there and it pops out. I couldn't remember that, to be honest. For some reason, this one just came out real easy. Maybe it wasn't in all the way when I got it, so when I was playing around with it before I made this video, it just came out. So I didn't think it had a button, but it does. So my bad. You do have the button here. Don't miss that out. Didn't take me long to figure it out, but there it is. So you just use that little button to get out this magazine here, and it's just a little. Basically, you load it up here, and you can take that off and load it up. You could probably just load right in there, but you can take this out, load it up a little bit easier, get a bunch of pellets in there really quick and easy, and just rotate it around until it's full. 20 rounds, really easy, and then pop it back in. Again, there's this big, huge button you can't miss right there to take it out. Okay, so let's move on here. Now, I did want to mention really quickly, you do, at least on this one, you can't just put it in a little bit. You got to give it a good tap to get that in there, because it's got to go all the way in, and it needs a good tap to get it in, so make sure you do that. Otherwise, you're going to probably pick it up and your magazine's going to fall on the floor. And there is a bit of plastic, so I'll get that sort of out of the way. There's a bit of plastic, especially this is all plastic here. So if it were to land and hit, some concrete or something, there's enough weight, because as you can see, there's a lot of other metal in here. The main structure is metal with sort of plastic around it. So this guy here is plastic, but this whole internal area is metal. You can see, right? Well, I'm not sure how far down it goes because I can't see inside, but that's plastic. That could break landing on something hard. If it landed on the dirt or the grass, you'd be totally fine. But on concrete or tarmac or something, be careful with it. So make sure it's in there good when you reload it or when you're loading it up. Okay, let's take a good look at it. So you have this basically compensator that you would need to probably remove. It looks like you've got some screws here that you can remove to actually break it down, because as you can see here, let's just get this open. Even though I can do this, there's no way for me to bring it forward and off, and you need to remove the slide forward. You can't move it back. So that's going to have to come off for sure. Yeah, so just something to be aware of. If you do want to field strip it, you don't need to really, and there's no hop up or anything to get at or any of that. Maybe for cleaning, but these are air guns. They're not powder burners. They don't need cleaning very often. So let's take a look at this left side. So we have the safety, which is ambidextrous. You can see here we have sort of some visual controls. I don't know if you can see that, but there's some red there. There's a little bit of a red dot there. On this side, I'll just show you right now. There is no red on there. So you're really only seeing the actual controls marked on the one side, but it is ambidextrous in the sense that you can work it from both sides. This is probably some sort of slide lock type thing. So if it were to lock back, you'd be able to slide, catch, release it type thing. Again, this is your takedown lever, which I showed you. You have like a skeletonized, not really skeletonized, but you can see it's definitely a metal trigger. And in the back, it's hollow, but it's got its own little sort of, supporting system. So it's very, very strong. I imagine the way they built this, even though it's thin, it's very strong. You have the nice trigger guard going around it, typical Sig style. You've got your Picatinny rail there for adding different things. And underneath, you have some markings. You also have, I'm going to show you that right now. You have, let me see here. There we go. Get it in the right light. You have some warning instructions right there, all your texture, front and back, sides, Sig, right? Sort of ported slide as well, okay? You have a white dot sight on the front, right? You have white dot sights on the rear. That comes off. You can put that plate in there. You have the plate as well that you can remove here, right? Sig's very own optic system plate. So you can do that as well. You have a flared mag well, and you can see right through pretty much, right through it. So we showed you the magazine already. Pretty easy to load. CO2 just goes in there, pop it in, and then clamp that up, and it's toolless, so that's nice. Let's take a look at this side here. There's your safety again. Slide catch release that doesn't really do anything. Other side of the takedown lever. More Sig markings on this side as well. Right? Okay. Sort of a recessed barrel, but I mean internally it is definitely smaller, of course, because of the 177 caliber. But it's got a nice weight to it. Just wanted to quickly show you that you can field strip these guns. Now this one's a little bit different, but if you take the magazine out, pull that forward, now you just sort of up. You have to go up and over with this one, okay? But you can. So you have to go back and up. I'm not sure if it's the same with the other one. It almost seems like it's not, but that's how you take the slide off, and then you put it back on. You just kind of go, what I do is I go back, forward, and then you're back in. So then lock that back, put it in the same position, and then you're all good to go. This one doesn't really do it the same way. So even if I go back and I try to go back and up, I can't pull it up. So I'm just assuming that with the takedown lever in the right position, see, it doesn't work. Then you have to go all the way forward like you would typically go with most blowback style guns, you know, that are field strippable. Most real steel guns, you would just pull it fast, but you can't get past this compensator, so you're going to have to take that off. I'm not going to do that in the video. It's really not that an important of a thing. I don't think it's something you need to be doing often or even at all potentially. So yeah, there's that. All right, let's finish this up with some pros and cons. There's definitely a lot of pros, so let's get to those first. It's a very good overall replica of the Sig Sauer P320 Spectre comp style pistol. It's fully Sig Sauer licensed with the modern custom competition look. Has that realistic blowback operation with a metal slide. Has a good weight of about 2.3 pounds, giving it a solid and realistic feel in the hand. And you have that high capacity 20 round pellet magazine system for lots of shooting between reloads. I like that they have that Sig Sauer toolless CO2 cam lever system, making CO2 loading fast and easy. And again, you have that 4.6-inch rifled barrel, perfectly matched for lead pellets. It also has a flared magwell with enhanced grip texture to add to the competition style appearance and handling, with a Picatinny accessory rail for allowing you to add lasers, lights, tactical setups, things like that. And the nice balance between metal and plastic keeps it a little lower in weight, so you have that polymer frame and some other polymer parts throughout, along with metal where you really need it. You're going to find the white dot sights, making it quick for target acquisition on a variety of backgrounds, whether they be dark or light or mixed. And it also includes the Sig RMR optics ready system. All right, a few cons. The claim velocity is lower at around 340, which isn't bad for a pellet pistol that's blowback, but some pellet pistols that aren't blowback are going to be a lot higher, closer to 400. You do have blowback operation, which again will use CO2 more than a non-blowback pistol. And those sights are non-adjustable, although you could add a red dot fairly easily once you put the adapter plate on there with the Sig optics. Another con is it is pellet only, so some pellet pistols allow you to shoot BBs. This one is not set up for it, but that's not really a con. I don't generally recommend shooting BBs in pellet guns. It could damage the rifling on that barrel, so that's not really a big issue. And I'm not sure if I've even mentioned it so far, but the slide does not lock back when the magazine is empty. I don't think you're going to find any rotary mag or belt-fed mag pellet pistols, especially blowback ones, that have any kind of slide lock that works, because there's no way of really allowing for a follower like you can with an inline magazine. All right, so that wraps up this review. Just make sure to check out the links in the description if you want to buy it here in Canada. Hopefully down the road we have it in the US. And if you're interested in other products, air guns, BB guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories, then check out replicaAirguns.ca for Canada and replicaAirguns.us for the US. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to check us out on Vimeo, YouTube, Rumble, all those places, and also Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Go sign up on all those, help us out a little bit, especially over on YouTube where we're trying to rebuild the channel. All right, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, take care.